We're going to get Logan back on the mic now, go straight on to the next match, which I think is going to be Taaha versus Afii, or Afii versus Taaha. I think Afii's going to take One Piece side for this. These are two more players which you guys overseas might not be too familiar with because they don't get to travel too much. But once again, as I said before, these guys are regulars back at the previous.
Absolutely. If you're a viewer of the Arms House streams of my Winner Stays On weekly tournaments that we used to run, you'll definitely know these guys. They were always there and thereabouts in the top 8, or arguably top 4, pretty much every week. So it'd be interesting to see how these guys do. Taha has had a little bit of time out from the fighting game community, but
when he's on form, he is quite a monster. Absolutely. I have to say. So I'd love to see what he can do today.
So let's get into this little short video of the two players talking about each other and see how they think the matchup's going to go. And we'll be back with a first of 5.
Let's get started. Fight!
I've had loads of games with Afii over the years, countless games, and I think that towards the beginning, when I first started playing, Afii really did have the better of me back then, and I did find it quite hard to beat him. As it got further and further into the game, when I started using Abel a lot better, and when he was using Guile, there was a stage when I was beating him in most tournaments. But now he switched to DJ, and I'm not sure how I feel about that. But I think Afii is a really good player. He does have loads of strengths, and he does have a few weaknesses as well that he can exploit, which I plan to in the Invitational tournament.
Taha is one of those players that I knew from the beginning. He came to the arcade and he was a newbie, and he was getting destroyed on a regular basis, like in the arcade. But he still came back. He still wanted to play more. So it's really strange seeing like yourself grow as a player and someone else just come as a newbie and growing as a player as well into like the top player, one of the top players in the UK scene. So it was really great to see, I think, for him, and now he's definitely one of the best players in the UK. Definitely a challenge.
First of all, I think that the Abel DJ matchup is a 6-4 to Abel. I think that Abel has the advantage in this matchup because DJ doesn't have any really great escape tools, and I think that just the nature of the matchup is just in Abel's favour, to be honest with you.
If I was to predict the score, I would say 5-2 to me.
Well, in the Invitational tournament when I play Afii, I'm not sure if he will actually pick DJ or Guile, but if he does pick DJ, I'm very confident that I will win against his DJ. However, against his Guile, I'm not too sure about that, so I'll have to see what happens on the day and who he picks.
Well, I've been practicing a lot of Adon, and I think that in the UK, Adon is like really underplayed. No one knows how to play with him or against him, so I felt like I wanted to play with him anyway. So, and the characters that I use, Guile and DJ, they're not really good for against Apple, so I wanted to counter with him. So.
We are back. We're about to get the third match of the first round of our SF4 Invitational Winner Stays On tournament.
So this is to decide who will be facing Ryan Hartz.
Okay.
Yeah. On the other side of the bracket, we've still got Provenix and Andreas to square off as well. So this is the third of our first round of matches here at the Invitational, 8-man bracket, single elimination. So if you lose, you go home. If you win, you stay on. It's quite.
Or just sit at the back and watch the rest of the matches wherever you like.
Yeah, they're welcome to stay for a little while as well. It's all good. It's all good.
Now, Afii traditionally used. He used to use Guile. He used to use a lot of DJ when we saw him playing Arcade Edition, Super, all the versions of Street Fighter. Today he mentioned that he's going to mostly be using Adon, which to be fair is a distinctly stronger character than someone like Guile, as we saw I'm Still the Dad he lose fairly convincingly to Ryan Hart a few matches ago. And to be honest, Abel has a pretty good time against Guile, so it's probably just as well for Afii that he's using Adon in this matchup. But this is one that I've actually not seen that often.
You don't really see a lot of Abels used at all, really, these days.
These days, no.
And it was interesting to see him voted, I think it was like number 6 in the SRK tier list chart. So I don't know where these Abels are that are winning tournaments and doing really, really well. But I still think he's a really powerful character.
And Taha's retained faith in this character for as long as I can remember. And he always does a really good job with him, to be fair. But it'd be interesting to see how Taha actually deals with Adon's footsie tools. Those Jaguar kicks are going to be so hard to deal with. A random ultra seems like the most convincing way to deal with them. Any whiff Jaguar kick perhaps could mean a free ultra for Taha if he reacts well enough. But there's this pressure in the corner, and this is really tough for Abel to deal with. Just like that, Afii takes the first match.
Afii looks pretty on point, man. Like for an Adon that's not really had a lot of tournament experience. Looks
so far so good. That was a really convincing match.
Definitely. So let's get back into it and see what Taha has to say.
Taha hopefully will have some kind of response to that.
He's really getting blown up by the stand throws. Like he's trying to stand throw and getting blown up by the Jaguar kicks.
Yeah.
A lot.
Those are just individual hits, but they take so much damage. It mounts up really quickly.
He's not really able to pin Taha down. He's bouncing around, jumping around with impunity. Very mobile character, Adon.
Yeah. All over the screen. Really is. He can change his jump arc. Jaguar kicks,
and that's what he wants to be doing. He
wants
to be putting Afii in block stun so that he can make him take this mix up. That is where all the damage is going to be. Oh, he was...
Dodges the uppercut there. Doesn't get the biggest punish. Taha's looking to take this round here.
Nice.
Good jump back.
Much more solid round from Taha.
Oh, yeah.
Afii's going to go into the next round, obviously, with the 3 bars, and that makes all the difference.
Of course, Abel's known for being like one of the best grapplers in the game. But the thing is, he has a really good dash. He's got a great forward dash. Defensively, he's not very good, but he has some really good footsie tools to try and play with characters at mid-range using fast-standing light kick. Of course, his forward medium kick, cancelling to dash is really good. So we have to see how that plays out versus the tools that Adon has. He's got a very good stand hard kick from mid-range himself. But the thing about Adon is he's going to be really good at closing the gap versus Abel, and I think that might be the deciding factor in this matchup.
I'm really seeing Taha's sort of lack of matchup knowledge.
It does seem like he's a little bit uncomfortable.
He's not certain with the punishes when he's baiting certain moves out.
Typically, we'd see Taha play with a certain rhythm when he goes into these matches, and his momentum is fantastic when he gets it going.
Oh, and there you have the fuzzy guard
trickiness, that neutral jump hard kick. That is such a good move. Taha punishes the whiff Jaguar kick very nicely there. Jaguar tooth, is it? I'm sorry.
Off the wall is Jaguar tooth, yeah.
I can't even hear what he's saying. Doesn't follow through with the COD there. Gets the sweep.
And here we go. Oh,
it doesn't get the link. That is a 1-frame link, to be fair, but
we don't really see Taha ever
that
drop
could have
that.
been the match.
And that sort of is showing like his lack of match fitness. There's not a huge amount of events going on in the UK. One of the main reasons why I wanted to make sure that this did happen.
Tricky jump out from Adon there. Just clawing hits back. Abel gets the knockdown. Oh, I try for the dash command grab. Taha finds himself in the corner, but he's out again. Using those meters. Whoa! Logan just about missed that, which is a real shame. I'm not sure. I remember Taha went for the EX falling sky.
Yes.
Is it skying? Yeah. Yeah, and he tried that once before to react to
grab him out of the Jaguar
kick. And it failed the first time, but just there, Taha managed to win the match with a reversal
Looks sick as
EX.
well.
But Afii, I think he messed up, and he did a. I don't know anything about it in this face. Oh my, I'm a mess. I'm sorry.
Jaguar something. So let's get into the next match. Taha bringing it back though, which is good to see, man. We don't want to see clean sweeps the whole way through. These are players that do go back and forth, you know, regardless of the scores you saw in the first games. I've seen Issam beat F-Word in tournament. I've seen Amsterdam Daddy.
And Afii is a big fan of that reversal uppercut. I think, honestly, that's actually a syndrome for players when they go from using a charge character to using a character that can freely use a reversal attack. They're so eager to start using it at like really, really annoying points. Like after 2 taps, they'll just like bring it out to try and ease the pressure, stuff like that. And Afii's going to be really frustrating when it comes to using those reversals to get out of pressure. Especially
Afii was always happy to use tactics like that, even with DJ. He hasn't got great wake-up options against lows.
But he's more than willing to use them. Yeah.
He'd use the wake-up. He used to wake-up ultra.
There you go again, just like that.
Yeah. No interest
maybe
in cancelling. He had the bar to cancel it.
Yeah.
He had the bar to cancel it, and he would have definitely died. So, you know, Afii's just throwing him out there. And
maybe he's trying to just like force those situations to try and gain the momentum, try and get the lead in the scoreboard.
There we go. So Taha was able to get that punish that time. Taha not afraid though to use that roll again.
Good anti-air. It's a brave wake-up TT there. I think maybe Taha went for that because it's shown Afii few too many EX rolls to get out of the corner, get out of the pressure, that maybe Afii was going for the wake-up, the throw on wake-up that time. Taha does like to try and take those opportunities to gain a good read and just try to get those free hits.
Went for the EX fallen star to
wake up throw that time.
A Jaguar kick.
Wheel kick, that's going to get punished. That was
now he's normally good at spacing those wheel kicks, and that was never ever going to be safe.
Oh, there's definitely no space in there. Maybe Taha was going for the backdash that time, but Afii had his 2 bars. He's already shown enough uppercuts. That was still a really brave move for Taha, but Afii that time is just like way too patient and just punished accordingly.
Definitely. So let's get into the next match. What do you want to see being a bit more from Afii?
I think he's playing it fine at the moment. I really do. He's really abusing the fact that Abel doesn't have a very convincing anti-air.
Wow.
Cross up that time. And Afii right now is just content just throwing out the right special at the right time. Until Taha shows him an answer to those various special moves he's going to keep on doing them. He's got a very tricky jump medium kick as well. Backdashes out of the pressure.
Oh, that was a great neutral jump.
Neutral jump, hard kick on the top of the head, still connects the crouch medium punch. And Afii, if he takes this, he can make it 3-1. That's a pretty convincing lead. Taha so far still hasn't shown his momentum, but Afii's been so frustrating with those wake-up rising Jaguars that it's been very hard for Taha to just get going so far. A full combo. There's the reset.
Going for the reset.
Very nice.
Knew he didn't have
another
the
into the command grab. Afii's almost stunned as well. There you go. Oh! I thought he was going to recover.
Afii was mashing that recovery out so fast.
That's the sort of thing we really want to see from Taha, though. The one time Afii just didn't want to bring out that wake up uppercut. That's when Taha capitalized. He steamrolled his entire health bar there. That EX Jaguar kick, really good as an air to air, and you get a juggle off it as well. That's very important you do that. When you're playing against an Abel, once you see them doing those chained low light kicks, short, stand short, you're almost sure that there's going to be a forward medium kick coming off it. So you want to make sure you backdash out of it. Taha lands a super though, and this is going to bring Afii really close to death. Oh! Overhead.
That was really brave, man, because Afii's sitting there on nearly 3 bars with a full ultra.
If he went for the wake-up reversal, he would have brought himself right back into it.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good risk because obviously he wouldn't have died from the wake-up reversal into ultra.
Yeah. And he already had the lead on the scoreboard. It was 2-1, now it's 2-2.
Definitely, and it's nice to see that the players really are taking advantage of these first of 5 format sets as well. They're doing stuff that you may not really throw out there in a best 2 out of 3 match in a tournament. But it is obviously single elimination as well, so there is going to be at the back of their heads, you know.
Once we go deeper into the set and it gets to maybe 3-4, 4-4, that's when you see the players are really going to start to be really cautious.
And it's going to be nice to see some players adapting and throwing out some new stuff there and conditioning as well, because we've not really seen that so far. Really.
It's very hard to see like a player it's very hard to actually see on the screen a player actually condition his opponent in a really short set, especially a best out of 3. Usually when it's a best out of 3, it's just a case of the player that has the greater raw skill come the start of the match. Also the matchup, of course, people love complaining about matchups, and you tend to see that problem in a best of 3. But as I was speaking to F-Word before, and he said that he actually prefers a long set when it comes to playing a bad matchup, because it gives him time to try and outplay the player, despite the fact that he may be playing a bad matchup.
Pretty even at the moment. Taha got a considerable...
that slow wheel kick, you can definitely react to that with whatever you like if you're ready.
Considerable meter lead.
Considering the speed and startup between Afii's Jaguar kick and Abel's wheel kick, I can't help but think that Afii's special moves are going to completely outclass Taha's. But having said that, Taha takes the round.
Ready to use that meter to get out of that corner. He didn't want to be in that position at all. So it's good play from Taha.
I think Taha started to find his flow a little bit more here. He's getting a few better reads on reversals. Another thing that's interesting about playing a long set is that you tend to find that in a shorter set, there are certain players who you might classify as maniacs. Who you simply don't know when they're going to go for a wake up reversal, and they can completely reverse momentum and take sets really quickly if it's a really short, like a best of 3 set. And Afii, if anything defensively, I would actually classify him as being one of those types of players. He loves. There you go. Once again, he goes for it again.
Oh, wow!
What? I ain't saying nothing about that. What was that? But I was saying that you might enjoy using that momentum, those reversals, to try and regain momentum in a short set. But it takes a lot of guts to be able to keep using those reversals throughout a really long set. And I can't help but think that Afii's actually
There's only so many times you can go to the well, I think is the saying. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Go to the well one too many times. And
as the set progresses, we're going to see Afii, if anything, actually use those reversals a lot less.
You'd think.
Perhaps. We'll have to see.
It's nice to see Taha flowing a bit better as well, because as we said, he hasn't had a great amount of tournament experience.
He's using that sweep really well. Abel's sweep is very unsafe, despite the fact that you can cancel it, but it's quite deceptive how much range it's actually got. Taha using those knockdowns really well, and he takes the
Taha seems to be flowing now, and that important thing is he's putting Adon in block stun. He's having to make Adon guess, which wasn't really happening in the first few games.
Yeah.
We saw Afii moving freely over the screen, really pressuring him and bullying him almost with those special moves, the Jaguar kicks, and the airborne Jaguar kicks as well. And it seems that Taha's settled a little bit more, and they've taken him a couple of games to really find his footing and get back into that tournament flow, that competitive flow, and he seems to be pulling it right back. So let's get into the next match.
I think one of the things about that I really like about Taha's play is that it's all well and good being able to capitalize if the opponent does a wake-up reversal and you block it, you get the full punish. Of course, anyone can do that. The thing about Taha is that he actually makes sure that he chooses the best option possible on the next knockdown he gets. So he understands the fact that if the opponent's with the dragon, he has a really good feel for how to play against the opponents to really break apart their defense when they're waking up off the ground. Dash and command grab. Afii hasn't been showing us very many wake-up backdashes so far. Adon's backdash maybe isn't the best, but it's still something you have to show a character like Abel.
Definitely, even wake-up neutral jumps as well. Sometimes useful.
Neutral jump jab into the normal throw that time.
Backdashing preemptively, looking for a step kick. Wow!
There you go, Taha trying to react. That is so hard to react to those Jaguar kicks, really difficult. Afii backdashes that time to get out the pressure.
And again. So he's showing him a lot of backdashing in open play and set play.
That stayed in front, that really looked like a cross-up. That was crazy. Both players have really slowed it down this round. There you go, we haven't seen Taha very
Here we go, this could be the comeback. Oh, that was a very good choice though.
That's going to hurt. I think that might be the round. That's going to make it 4-2 for Taha out of nowhere. That's going to be very annoying for Afii.
And that was a big swing there. I mean, if he'd FADC'd the right way, he obviously didn't know which side that Taha would appear on with that Abel mix-up. Would have been in into ultra, and that would have been. I mean, he could have even done it into just another up kicks, and that would have probably ended the round with the health that he had left there. So
I think with Adon, what you can afford to do is you can do your wake up, you can FADC it, and you can spend just a little bit of time to tell which side the opponent is actually on in those kinds of situations. Then dash the right way, and then bring out.
Because you have got a lot of time to do that jungle.
Yeah.
Well, let's see how Afii deals with that mistake. See whether he lets it get to him. He's obviously
looking
on the down
now. 4-2. He needs to win 3 straight to take this. At the start of the set, we saw him have a huge amount of momentum. He was doing really well against Taha, but Taha's pulled it back nicely.
Taha really willing to use that roll as a method to get out of that pressure, and it's working for him.
Yeah, that variable jump arc from Adon. Another cross up into full combo. Good tech from Taha. Goes with the air-to-air anti-air this time. Taha, maybe at some point he might like to try and use a focus actually to beat those instant air Jaguar kicks. If you're at the range where Adon, for example, forward jumps, but you know that he's not actually going to connect from that distance. You know, the only thing that can really make contact with you if he jumps from a certain range is in fact the air Jaguar kick. And then from that sort of range, you might want to try and go for the focus, because it's a fairly safe option. from
I
that
have
sort of
noticed as
distance.
well that Afii's got into a bit of a pattern which a lot of Adon players do at a certain level, where
Another
you end up
wake-up
getting into
reversal.
block strings and you go into that, I think it's low medium punch, cancelled into the jag cure kick, and you can
jab,
see that
crouch,
coming
medium
from
punch, jag
a
cure kick.
mile away as well.
Yeah,
That's so
yeah.
easy to react to, and a lot of Adon players get into that sort of bad habit, so it'd be nice to see. That backdash TT is so
Really
annoying.
tricky.
Really difficult to deal with.
You need to make sure you're option selecting, and Afii definitely wasn't option selecting that
Well, it's
time.
difficult to option select against Abel because obviously he's got the roll there as well. He
It
could
is,
just
but
blow you
his
up.
defensive options are all very, very passive.
Mm.
So you don't have to be scared of timing your safe jump or
Yeah.
anything like that. You can just do it. And if you go for a jump in with an option selecting to sweep, the only thing you can really do to get out of that is a EX roll
EX, yeah.
to get out of the pressure. And you're not really going to get punished by Abel after that.
And Taha takes it really, really convincingly. So let's have a quick chat with Taha, talk to him about what he's been up to and how he felt sort of
Sure.
getting back into the groove of the match.
Okay.
Taha, come over here, sir, and speak to Zach.
So Taha takes his
And
first round against
After
Afii
this, we are going to
5-2.
be lining up Problem X and Andreas.
Okay. Be the last match of the first round, but we're going to get Taha on. Haven't seen this guy playing in a long time, but after a fairly slow start, that was a pretty convincing win, I have to say. Do you feel that you're actually like maybe a little bit rusty coming into this tournament?
Yeah, I do feel very rusty actually coming to this tournament. I haven't really been playing as much because I don't feel there's a need to play here anymore because we don't have many tournaments.
Yeah, if anything, it's the dry season after
Yeah,
Evo. There's just not that many.
it's
majors
really
and
dry
stuff.
now. So loads of us here actually are really rusty, and many of us here haven't played the game in a really long time. But yeah, as you could see in the first few games, there was a few combos that I was missing, my BNBs, which I never really
Forward
missed.
medium kick dash, that one frame link, like before when it was the regular winner stays on series, that was an absolute bread and butter.
Yeah,
Like,
you would never
wouldn't
see
fail
me
that.
drop that. One thing that I used to take like pride in was my execution in this game, and now I'm missing my main character's combos. So as you can see, a bit rusty, but I'm getting a bit more into the flow in the flow now. So
yeah, and I think if anything, that's your biggest strength as a player. I think being able to take advantage of momentum, to get a feel for how the opponent is defending. Obviously, Afii was getting away with so many wake-up uppercuts. That must have been really frustrating for you to a point.
That was quite frustrating, but you know, it doesn't really phase me. What's one wake-up reversal in the first to 5?
Exactly,
you know what I mean?
right? Yeah.
It doesn't really matter. I mean, if it was a best of 3, then I think Afii would have won that. But because it's a first to 5, you got more time to feel your opponent a bit more. So I'm really, really glad this is first to 5. It's a good tournament to come back into after not playing the game.
That's very true. Yeah. We saw a fairly slow start from you. I'm sure we're going to see like even stronger performances despite cleaning that matchup, that setup after the first couple of games. You did so well at the end of it. We're probably hopefully you're going to see like some really good reads, some good momentum going with Abel in the following sets. I think you're playing against Ryan in the next match. I remember the last time I remember seeing you play him was when I was actually doing the commentary for EGL, I think, and you had to come back from losers in the grand final to beat him in 2 sets. That was an amazing set to watch because your reads were so on point that time.
That was when I was playing, at the top of my game. I felt like I was playing really, really good there. But I think Ryan is a really strong player. It's going to be hard to beat him now. But again, it's a first to 5. That's something that he is really strong in, as well as what I think I'm really good in first to 5s as well.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how your own skills as a player actually suit this first to 5 as the tournament goes on. Yeah,
playing Ryan's going to be an interesting one because he's really good at adapting. So it's going to be a constant switch up of styles, I think.
Going to be a lot of back and forth. Hopefully, we'll see how it goes. But thanks for talking. And yeah, it was a slow start, but that was pretty fun to watch.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Good stuff, man.
Cool,
Nice
thanks.
one.